What's up, everybody? I am back with some new trailer reactions. Today I'll be covering the, don't know if it's a TV series or a movie. It's on Disney Plus. I'm assuming it's a series. The Darth Maul trailer, teaser trailer. So I'm going in blind because I avoided it so I can react to it organically. So like the video, YouTube algorithm's been kind of wonky. Can you do me a huge favor and like the video and see everything is working? We also share this. Follow me in links in the description below, as well as check out my other content, such as my video game walkthroughs, as well as my reaction videos and other content that I post on my YouTube and Twitch. So without further ado, I'm reacting to some Darth Maul, which is a cool character. Hold on. I think it was played by Sam Worthington, but I would have preferred a Star Killer, but whatever. So let's check this out.
Times have changed. I will show you the galaxy for what it truly
No, it's not live
is.
action.
See things from a new perspective.
Is this what our future holds? Always running.
I invite you to look more closely.
What are we dealing with?
Good question. And I offer you an opportunity.
April.
Maul.
We have all been made to suffer. We survive, but do not live. The Emperor wants you dead. Chains can be broken.
Hang on!
And empires can be shattered.
Okay, it's cool looking, and honestly, David Filoni is like, he does excel at when it comes to animated series. However, in my personal opinion, as cool as Darth Maul is, and he has an incredible arc, I think we ran this character into the ground. I'm not saying it with any shade or animosity, like any malice or anything like that stuff, but it's just, are they just, is Lucasfilm just hesitant on making any new characters for us to fall in love with because of the failure that was like characters in the sequel trilogy? And as I mentioned in like a different video a while back, because I made like a video, pretty sure it was like a year ago on the channel, as I mentioned, like how I would have fixed the sequel trilogy or organized it to make it like kind of coherent, and which honors the George Lucas and also can bring in new characters for new generations to love. The idea of Rey, the idea of Poe and Finn and BB-8 and Kylo Ren wasn't a bad idea on the surface. It's just what was below the surface that caused this big upheaval and animosities and infighting with the Star Wars fandom, because you didn't plan ahead. You just expect everybody to come because they had the Disney logo or the Star Wars logo just attached to it, and people just going to eat up any slop that you put out without any rhyme or reason. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have loved Finn if his story had any substance beyond just yelling Rey for every 5 freaking minutes. It's lazy. And then even lazier, got the nerve to like get the actors mostly get on these little platforms and interviews and talking about, oh, they're just racist or misogynist because they automatically just off rip like your whatever character that you put out that happens to be a particular color or a gender. No, you're being lazy and using it as a shield to bypass any accountability on your part. If you had done the responsible thing and actually took the time to create substantial characters to be timeless and for us to love for years going, then you'll be more in the in a good space to actually make some kind of original character for us to follow, rather than just rehashing characters that we already like. Not saying it's not a bad thing, but it's just that we know that he dies by Obi-Wan in Rebels. His story is done. Now, you kind of got lucky with Andor because the 2 seasons was actually pretty freaking good. But we knew that character will die eventually. And I know some people will say, like, oh, it's about the journey. And it's like, yeah, I get all that. But sometimes you gotta, it's not all that interesting to, like, waste time with a character who had like a substantial arc. Now, okay, of course, Andor is a little bit different from Maul because Andor's story wasn't all that fleshed out because he only had that one appearance, while Maul had twice dozen times, like 24 times appearance. I would say appearances, but you catch my drift. He's been there a lot in quite a few different series and movie. It's just that, okay, this character's done. He had his time to shine. Let's make an original character. I think like the last original character they did was Mando, and Grogu, but the people around that series. But it's just that I think we need Jon Favreau mostly to work with Dave Filoni, because it can't be Filoni by himself. I'm sorry. We need Jon Favreau to actually, come in, bring in some actual competent writers, not activists, and come up with from the ground up original characters for us to follow without having to use older beloved characters as a crutch to try to sell. I mean, it works sometimes, but I don't know. It's just at a certain point, it just feels like you are just biding time to try to figure things out on your behind the scenes. Okay, let's put out this Maul thing. People like Maul. This is like a layup to buy us some time while we figure crap out. But that's just my opinion. Not that this doesn't look promising. I'm just kind of done with the character. It's like he ran his course. I mean, of course, you could probably do some. This particular series might be interesting. But but it's just that aside from an interesting possible series, because hopefully it doesn't turn out like the Bad Batch. But okay, that's well, maybe like in the series we see new characters here. We probably got new characters that we could fall in love with, and what leads to another problem: backdoor spinoffs. That was a thing since the Mando and Grogu 3 seasons. Pretty much like trying to backdoor their way into other pilots, like before the whole Gina Carano situation. Her character was supposed to have gotten like some kind of spinoff, which is like another problem. They kept like announcing things. They too busy trying to get ahead of themselves because they're really like riding high right now, instead of taking a beat of, okay, assessing the situation. Okay, let's take maybe 1 or 2 things for a year, for this particular year, wait a couple of years before we do another thing. Let things kind of the popularity ride for a couple of years, take our time, and and give it a couple years before we do something else. So that way we don't have to worry about committing to anything because we didn't announce anything yet. It's like, oh wow, a Starfighter movie? Does this look promising? Yes. Okay. Do we got everybody involved? Is the script at least 90% done? Okay. Let's announce it, and so that way we can fully commit, because it's pretty much like darn near done. I don't know. It's just I'm definitely going to check it out. I'm not saying it looks like trash or anything like that, because I love this animation style, but it's just I'm just tired of the same characters sometimes. I'm not like those people who say like I'm tired of Jedi. I like Jedi. I like seeing some Jedi stuff, but it's just when a person's arc is complete, I don't need any more of them, because we know the finality of this particular character. Unlike Ahsoka, which I guess you can still tell more stories, but she has a relatively complete arc herself. She didn't die. You can tell future stories with her, but by and large, we know all there is to know about her. That's why I kind of got a little irked with like Star Wars Visions. We got a couple of the segment with her as a baby before she got recruited to the Jedi Order. That was useless. Except for the other Ahsoka mini episodes that actually help fulfill the gap on how she managed to get out of that sticky situation with the Order 66. We had to see how that played out that led up to that, to her surviving. But anyway, I'm curious to know what you guys think. I will see you guys in a little bit for another reaction video. Peace.